Thank you for visiting the Waterkotte website and our Sexual Misconduct Defense Lawyer in Missouri website page. Regardless of the crime, we believe everyone is entitled to the best possible legal defense in the state of Missouri. We have created this audio version of our website page to help you better understand our services and protect your future, freedom, and reputation. If you have been charged with sexual misconduct in the state of Missouri, we can help. Don't face the state and court system alone during your sexual misconduct charge. Contact one of our Missouri sexual misconduct defense lawyers today at 314-900-HELP to protect your rights and future. Waterkotte is committed to handling all sexual misconduct defense cases with confidential care and understanding. We are not here to judge you. We believe that everyone in Missouri, regardless of the crime they have been charged with, deserves an aggressive legal defense and to have their legal rights protected. With that being said, let's discuss hiring our sexual misconduct defense lawyers in Missouri and setting up a free consultation with our attorneys. Sexual misconduct defense lawyers in Missouri. Sexual misconduct charges can completely upend your life and have potentially grave consequences for your reputation, freedom, and future. Waterkotte is the leading St. Louis and Missouri sex crimes defense law firm that faithfully stands by people who are facing life-altering criminal charges. We are discreet, confidential, and non-judgmental, and are at our best when we are in court defending St. Louis and Missouri residents' rights. Sexual misconduct laws in St. Louis and Missouri. In Missouri law, there are 3 types of sexual misconduct. First-degree sexual misconduct. Under Missouri Revised Statute Section 566.093, a person can be charged with first-degree sexual misconduct if they expose their genitals in a situation where they know it is likely to shock, offense, or alarm. Have sexual contact in the presence of a third person in a situation where they know it is likely to cause shock, offense, or alarm. Have sexual intercourse in a public place in the presence of a third person. For a first offense, first-degree sexual misconduct is a Class B misdemeanor, which carries with it up to 6 months in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. For a second conviction, it is a Class A misdemeanor, which carries with it up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $2,000. Second-degree sexual misconduct. Under Missouri Revised Statute Section 566.095, a person can be charged with second-degree sexual misconduct if they solicit or request another person to engage in sexual conduct when they know it is likely to cause shock, offense, or alarm. This is a Class C misdemeanor, the punishment of which is up to 15 days in jail and a fine of no more than $500. Sexual misconduct involving a child. Under Missouri Revised Statute Section 566.083, a person commits sexual misconduct involving a child if they knowingly expose their genitals to a child under the age of 15 if they do so, knowing it is likely to shock, offend, or alarm, or for arousing or gratifying purposes of anyone, including the child. Coerce or induce a child under the age of 15 to expose the child's genitals for arousing or gratifying purposes of anyone, including the child. Coerce or induce a child they know to be under 15 to expose the breasts of a female child through the Internet or other electronic means for arousing or gratifying purposes of anyone, including the child. This is by far the most serious sexual misconduct offense. It is a Class E felony for a first-time offender, which carries with it up to 4 years in prison and a fine of up $10,000. If it is not the first offense, it is a Class D felony, the punishment for which is up to 7 years in state prison and a fine of up to $10,000. It is not a valid defense if the victim was a peace officer pretending to be a minor. There is no mandatory minimum sentencing for any of these crimes. Additional sentencing options may also include probation, mandatory counseling, restitution to the victim, and registration as a sex offender. Why choose Combs, Waterkotte to defend you against sexual misconduct charges in Missouri? The second you are facing allegations or charges related to sexual misconduct in St. Louis, it's imperative to reach out to a sex crimes lawyer right away. We know the public, co-workers, and even friends and family can be quick to rush to judgment given the nature of sexual misconduct charges. But the presumption of innocence is fundamental to the American justice system. You deserve to be given due process and have your day in court. As your dedicated Missouri criminal defense lawyers, we will listen to your side of the story, fully investigate your case, including how any evidence was obtained, determine the police violated your Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, or Sixth Amendment rights, investigate the reliability of witnesses or the accuser, determine whether the best defense strategy, which may include proving you could not have committed the crime, questioning evidence, negotiating with the prosecution to reduce or dismiss the charges, representing you in trial, give you expert legal counsel at every stage. Legal process for sexual misconduct cases in St. Louis and Missouri. It's important to know what to expect as you navigate through the legal system. Here's a brief overview of the typical legal process involved in sexual misconduct cases in St. Louis, Missouri. Law enforcement conducts an initial investigation, gathers evidence, and interviews witnesses. If there is enough evidence, you may be arrested and charged. The accused is brought before a judge, informed of the charges, and enters a plea. Evidence is exchanged between the prosecution and defense, and negotiations may occur. If no plea agreement is reached, the case goes to trial, where evidence is presented, witnesses testify, and the judge or jury makes a decision. If convicted, the defendant is sentenced, which can vary depending on the severity of the charges. Defenses in Missouri sexual misconduct cases. Defending against sexual misconduct charges involves exploring various legal defenses to protect your rights and reputation. Here are some common defenses that a skilled defense attorney may employ. Consent. If both parties engaged in the sexual activity willingly and knowingly, it may be a valid defense. Lack of evidence. Challenging the sufficiency or credibility of evidence presented by the prosecution. Alibi. Providing evidence that the accused was not at the location of the alleged incident at the time it occurred. False accusations. Demonstrating that the allegations were made maliciously or falsely. Fourth Amendment violations. Challenging the legality of evidence collection or search and seizure procedures. Each case is unique, and the defense strategy will depend on the specific circumstances. A skilled St. Louis sexual misconduct defense lawyer can evaluate your case and determine the defense strategy that will get you the best possible outcome. Call Combs Waterkotte's Missouri Sexual Misconduct Lawyers. When you call Combs Waterkotte, the attorney handling your case will be the one to pick up the phone. Everyone deserves an expert and dedicated defense when they are facing criminal charges, no matter the nature of the allegations. Call a Combs Waterkotte Street Louis Sexual Misconduct Defense Lawyer today at 314-900-HELP or contact us online for a free consultation.